So here we go again with another session. Today's April 13th, 2022. 13 days out of 21 days, and I am grateful. I'm definitely grateful for an opportunity to have all my body functions working. My legs, my arm, my eyes can see. The basic stuff. You'll think that okay, that's the norm, but gotta be thankful for those things. All right. My next thing I want to show gratitude for is just the mindset, the self-confidence, the self-awareness, just to be consistent, show this publicly, be able to potentially help somebody else. It's not an easy factor when sometimes the mind or the body feels like, well, you have to take care of yourself first, then you can start taking care of others. But I feel that I've been exercising for so many years that this is something I love to do. I mentioned it before, so all it is just to be able to share it to somebody else that it's not as complicated as it seems if you're staying committed to what you want. Place your order. This is what you want. So that's gratitude. Show my gratitude. Earlier today, I'm not the type of person to take pictures or take videos of helping somebody else that's in need, but I definitely want to share my story that I had the opportunity today to help somebody that was in need. Brother was in a tight situation. He admitted that he was homeless, and just to be able to gather just a basic story of what his situation is, it's really tough out there when you're trying to provide for your wife and your daughter and trying to relocate, and a lot of things that may not be working out his way right now. So I was able to meet him down here in South Florida. Not meet him, but just happened to say, I was trying to get some cash out of ATM, and just like, okay, I see him begging. Brother's about 35 years old, and the house he was living in another state burnt down. So by that house being burnt down, he had to relocate everything else, and just relocating down here, he thought he could at least get some kind of opportunity, but realizing it's kind of tight down here in South Florida also. So I let him know, like, hey, to be honest with you, bro, I'm going to take care of some business right now. I'm going to come back, bring some water, and see how I could be able to help. We exchanged numbers. I was able to get some bottles of water because he had a lot of foam in his mouth. When he came to speak to me, he was once again in the situation that he has to be begging. Lots of foam in his mouth. I was like, bro, you're dehydrated. And he's like, my bad, I didn't know that. I was like, yeah, you're dehydrated, bro. It's like any minute you probably could pass out and don't even notice it. So got him a bottle of water. I felt the need, like, hey, if I buy you a toothbrush or a toothpaste, would that be a good thing, just to be able to get through the week or something, a month? He went ahead. We went to a grocery store and he picked out the one he wanted. Just to give him that uplift that he's not less than a human. He's not less than anybody. He's a human being that's really just trying to get back on his feet. Now, not everybody's the same. I understand that. Not everybody's the same. But with his situation, it was like, was more like he never seen himself being down this road. 1 minute everything was good, like about a month, 2 months, everything was good, and everything just went downhill. So one of the things he was kind of disappointed about, that he's taking note of making sure he doesn't get back in the situation again. It's like people say that they won't call police on him. They say, they cuss at him and say go get a job. They've been very rude to him, you know what I mean? And I know, for speaking upon myself, I just knew that just listen to him for that moment, even if it was 5 minutes, just to be able to understand where his mind is at. I asked him, have you been to a mental facility? Have you been arrested? Things like that, just to make sure like the man is competent or something. So he said no to those things, that he's never been to a mental facility, never been arrested. He been arrested because he didn't have his driver license, so they had to take him in for a day and they released him on bond. So things like that. I think I'm just sharing the story because it's like, we never know what somebody's going through. If we could just be able to open up our mouth, be able to listen and identify if this is some BS, some bull crap, or is this like the real deal, that if I could be able to help out with less than 30 bucks, not just giving the person cash, but like build that spirit up. All right, let's go to the store, let's go buy some, you know, because I've been through those situations that people asking for gas money and this and that. They actually want the cash. I was like, nah, let's go to the gas station. Let's go put gas in your tank. What you asking for? You know, so it's like, it's those kind of mind games, the back and forth on the mind games to see, you know, are you a con or are you the real deal? Are you really homeless? Are you really needed help? So not to drag that on, but I just wanted to share that story. You know, I think he was definitely pleased that somebody out there was able to speak to him as a human being, you know, and not look at him less than. So I kind of felt that pain when he was sharing that story, or his story, I should say. And the third thing is that I'm about to go 1 month, 30 days on trying out this papaya seed thing. Tomorrow morning, the 14th of April, I'm definitely going to be doing the whole papaya seed, 2 to 3 papaya seeds with some honey, and I'm gonna go ahead and eat that. Now I'm gonna take it slow, because there's like eating papaya seed, if you eat too much, you know, the body could start getting hot. A lot of crazy things happen if you overdo it. So I'm gonna take it slow and do increase the amount that I'm gonna be eating in the morning on an empty stomach. It's too early to say what will be the outcome. I'm hoping for my stomach to go down, you know. That's be able to go down and tighten up. You know, there's some things that I'm hearing, some benefits about it, so I'm definitely gonna give it a try. If you know about it, you know, be able to leave a comment on it. But I'm not gonna say a lot in words right now, but definitely gonna take that try. So we about to get started on this exercise. Shahrazad Ali, Blackman's Guide to a Black Woman. Still continuing that. Once again, disclaimer, look out for any type of triggers, anything that kind of upsets you, man or woman. This is just to be able to bring up the topic, how can we come to an understanding so we can have a healthier community, a healthier relationship, a healthier marriage, you know, for any of those that's married and feel like, you know, you want to go your separate ways. My opinion, if it's worth it, you are with a great person, and you're just looking at the negative side, be able to work through that. Marriages, boyfriend and girlfriend relationships, I think work through it until somebody feel like they don't want to grow, they don't want to try. Then it's like, okay, if you don't want to try, I'm gonna try one more time. You sure you want to work on this relationship? Like, just work through with that person, because once you guys separate, you know, sometimes it's kind of hard. It's a surprise, and it's kind of hard when people go separate ways. Not everybody gets the opportunity to work through it. You know, they just go separate ways. But with some education on things like these type of topics, it'd be like, man, you know what? I could have worked it out with my ex. I could have worked out with my ex-wife. I could have worked out with something. You know what I mean? So I'm just bringing awareness on that. So let me get on this exercise. We're doing 20 everything on the rip right. We're doing 10 reps. 10 reps with the 10 seconds down. 20 reps everything. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Thank you for listening on that long intro. I just wanted to be able to drop that in there confidently without waiting to the end of the video. So if you're still listening, I just want to say thank you.
It's not that she necessarily takes him for granted. It's just that she does not place the right value on his presence. In some homes, he walks into the house and is completely ignored. He is often made to feel like an intruder in his own household, someone who is sometimes in the way of other things and people who are more important to the black woman than the black man. In younger women, the courtship may be altered a bit in thematic arrangement. If she has ideas about having some female macho equality, she might start out from the beginning letting the black man know that she has no intentions of catering to his every whim, or any of his whims. She doesn't think it's her responsibility, and she thinks that every man should do for himself like she does for herself. She has very prolific sounding explanations about why she feels the way she does. Take it or leave it. He should leave it. She does not feel that her attitude will have impact on the success of the relationship. She is just exercising her options and believes her choices to be minor and harmless. She is interested in having a black man, but not interested enough to put on any special act for him. Certainly, no encores or repeat performances. The wedding ceremony. For the contemporary black woman, big, expensive, elaborate weddings are in. Their requirements are big ceremony, big church, big reception, big expensive wedding, big floral arrangements, big catered menu, big matching wardrobes for the attendants, big honeymoon, big ego production, and big cash expenditures. But this is the black woman's shining hour. She is the center of attention, the star, and her wedding is the public symbol of her wonderful life waiting ahead. It is a glorious tribute to her big announcement that, I got him! The black man cooperates and participates in all of this hoopla because he is prompted by both families and mostly because he wants to please his woman. She not only wants it, she demands it. Although his nature may tell him that this is too much money to spend on publicly agreeing in front of several hundred witnesses that they are now married. Sometimes $5,000 to $50,000 or more is spent on the wedding affair, and a lot of this money comes out of the black man's pocket. Gone are the days when the woman foots the bill for the entire wedding. The black woman is not concerned with the financial strain, will beg, borrow, and charge to produce this show. Later on, when viewing the videotape of this main event, it may be difficult for the black man to believe that his woman could orchestrate such a synchronized attraction, but now finds it impossible to get dinner on the table every night at a reasonable time. Sometimes, the woman may look at the tape over and over again, remembering what she may describe as the most beautiful period of her life. Sometimes, the man gets lost in the shuffle of the wedding plans and finds himself standing around trying to figure out his part in this. Usually, several family fights and disagreements occur on both sides before the grand day takes place. They rumble. After the honeymoon, the couple returns home to start living out the black woman's dream of married life. She immediately takes on the rest of the job of trying to set her life in order. It is also at this time she completely relaxes and lets the black man know, bit by bit, that she expects him to carry his part of the load and make a few changes now that they are really married. Now comes the real deal. Few black women cross the threshold of marriage without a carefully outlined mental plan of how she intends to change her man to suit her wishes. She sees marriage as the contract whereby she can be herself, the wrong self. She believes that the only way to maintain control of her life is to maintain control of her man. This control starts by trying to keep up with him, to know his whereabouts at all times. Often she'll ask questions about where he's been and then sneakingly ask him the same question at another time to see if he'll give the same response. One of the worst mistakes the black man can make when living with a black woman is to start out telling her every step he takes when he's not with her. The first time she tricks him into answering, she will expect an explanation from then on. The reasons she uses to pry into his comings and goings are: 1. I worry about you. You could at least call. 2. You ask me where I go. 3. 'Cause I have a right to know. I'm your wife or woman. 4. Somebody was looking for you. 5. So I'll know what's going on or what's happening. 6. 'Cause I just want to know. Certainly, if the black man desires to inform the black woman of his whereabouts, he can do so. But the problem in trying to comply with her slanted curiosity, which is really interrogation, is that the black man can never be sure of which point in the deposition he will give the wrong answer and put her in a mental hell that may last for days. Her questions represent distrust and insecurity. She spends a lot of time during her day thinking up ways to bust the black man, and she will worry over any unsettled details and could the atmosphere with suspicion and doubt, the two most baneful emotions in her relationship. Although she won't admit it, her position is that if you ain't with me or a crowd of witnesses, then you must be doing something wrong. Or, if you ain't with me, then you must be with somebody else. Or, how come you can't tell me where you were? She does not really believe that what she doesn't know can't hurt her. Everything hurts her, and she thinks it's the black man's fault. If the black woman would take a moment to be truthful and admit her fears and the root of her despair, she would have better communications with the black man. And honesty is what she says she wants, but she only wants it from one side. His. She is so angry with the black man that she does not want him to have the glorious experience of having a good woman. A good woman. The kind of woman who is in submission to her man and loves it. The kind of woman who obeys because she wants to obey and not because she is forced into doing so. The current black woman denies any notions of yearning to be under the black man's control. She pushes this idea out of her mind by recalling that he doesn't deserve it anyway. Why? Because he will not do what she wants him to do. She does not know the luxury of relaxing and living her life for her black man and doing everything she can to make him happy. By letting the black man be the head of the family, she could revive him, and by getting behind him and supporting him, he could be free. The black woman cannot know freedom until the black man does. The wise say a man can rise no higher than his woman. Until the black woman makes a conscious choice to start respecting the black man, he will remain in his current condition and decline even more. Some black women say they are satisfied with the status quo of their relationships and wouldn't have it any other way. They are lying. They are just trifling and enjoy quibbling and use these tactics to delay the inevitable for as long as possible. When the black woman accepts her rightful place as queen of the universe and mother of civilization, the black man will regenerate his powers that have been lost to him for over 400 years directly. The black woman should not mimic the ideas and attitudes of Western civilization. The white man clearly understands that the preservation of the family order is what allows him to rule the world. This fact is not hidden knowledge. When the standards that preserve civilization are disregarded, the result is a do-your-own-thing, reckless and disorganized existence. The domestic crime rate in America bears witness to the breakdown of the family structure and the demise of the traditional values that preserve peace between women and men. The ceremony. There have arisen endless creative expressions of how to exchange the wedding vows, and many are quite interesting. But the standard theme contains the standard American design format. Little does the black woman know that the entire wedding ceremony was taken from the white man's history of being in the cave, which is referred to as prehistoric times. It was out of the caveman period that they devised the marriage rites, and each segment of the ceremony denotes a particular aspect of their life in the cave. It has no black cultural background in it. Most have seen the pictures of the white caveman walking with a club over his shoulder, dragging the white woman behind him. This picture is the brunt of many jokes suggesting that this is how the white man claimed his woman. The following definitions explain how they came to use the seemingly timeless marital rites. The ring is symbolic of the rope or cord or vine used to tie up the woman, the bride, in order to conquer her, and it was used to bind her wrists and ankles while kidnapping her from her tribe. This was done by the groom. The ring bearer is the man who went with the groom to steal the bride. He is the one who carried the extra rope. It took 2 to 3 men to pull this heist. The attendants. The best man was the man who went with the groom to steal the bride. The throwing of rice is symbolic of the rocks and stones the family of the bride threw after the groom when the bride's screams awakened her family and they saw she was being taken. The honeymoon is symbolic of the cooling off period that followed the taking of the bride. The groom would take her up into the mountains or some far off place and keep her up there until she came into submission to him. Carrying over the threshold, symbolic of the groom carrying the bride into his cave, her new home. He had to carry her because she would not walk in voluntarily. The maiden of honor is the woman in the groom's tribe, usually his mother or a friend who helped the new bride adjust to and learn the ways of life in the new cave. The veil came into practice around 1500 as a form of spirituality which was designed to keep evil spirits away from the face of the bride.
Okay, so just a little piggyback from the homeless, helping the homeless brother story. One thing I shared to him in the grocery store was because he's in a very tough situation, I told him you might have to continue to think on a Stone Age moment, like how to rebuild, set goals. I said if you have a pen and a journal, he said, yeah, I'll be trying to rap and stuff. I was like, I get it, but cancel the rapping stuff, and that was just my suggestion. Cancel the rapping stuff and be able to write small goals for like what you're gonna do tomorrow, what you're gonna do the following day, like so at least you could build from that. And another thing I shared with him, like, we was in the grocery line, whatever, and I shared to him like, you got to get back to the fundamentals, or try to get back to the fundamentals. That the main thing important out here is water, clothes, shelter. Water, clothes, shelter. Like I shared to him, his mouth was foaming in the mouth. He had a foam in his mouth. I was like, you could have fainted out there, bro. He's like, yeah. And then he brought up a story of somebody that fainted at a warehouse in the state he came from. They fainted and hit their face on the floor and all this other stuff. I was like, yeah. So water. I see the shelter situation is not his best right now. And clothes on the back, what was running through my mind, if he's already foam in the mouth like that, I know he's not hygiened up as far as having the ability to shower on a regular. I guess he shower when he can, or even clothes, switch out the clothes as much as he can. So I'm pretty sure with the dedication I did today was better than nothing, better than just walking past him. There was other people helping him out in the best way they can. So like I said, I exchanged numbers with him, so hopefully if I'm in a situation that I could just call him and help him out again, you know, I'm pretty sure he'll appreciate that. On the workout today, I did the best I can. Still some imperfections on the upper body. Feel like I'm hitting a plateau on the leg, the lunges, and the squat, so I'm just keeping the form right now. The abs is doing really good. I'm really surprised the type of ab roll I'm doing right now, just knocking it out, knocking out the reps. The shoulders, I mean, hey, just a mental thing. The curls is fine, the brick curls is fine, but the rip right, I'm just trying to get through that. I'm down to 6 reps. So I did 10, 9, 8, and then my arms burnt out. And then I did 7, my arms burnt out. And I think I did 6, and then my arms burnt out, I think. But I know I did the best I can. Regards to these papaya seeds, this new journey, 1 month journey, 30 days. You know, just be able to do your due diligence on the papaya seeds, and you know, why am I taking that step forward to give it a try. I think when it comes to, I'm gonna try not to make it TMI. I'm gonna try, but I just feel like around my stomach area, digestive system area, I think with all this hard work and running, and sometimes I be having small meals, my stomach still in this area still is like, it's not bloated, but it's not forming down the way I want it to. And it's been like that for some years. Like, I really don't recall my stomach going down. So I don't know what will be at the end of this journey with the papaya seeds, but I'm just hoping it has something to do with helping my stomach go down. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. I'm gonna try my best not to keep it TMI, but you know, I think I'll share what I can. So with that being said, thank you for listening if you stay to the end. You know, if you have any questions regards to like what it takes, or I don't say what it takes, but just like that dream relationship, you know what I mean? Or if you feel like you're the good one in the relationship and the other person is just pessimistic or very negative, but like, why do I attract negativity? You know, just all those things. Just, I think it's just good conversation until you can find the puzzle. Like, okay, this is starting to make sense. Okay, if I'm a good person, I'm getting a person of needy, or you know, I'm always helping them, but they're stuck. Like, you know, just how can you be able to match who you are? It may not be perfect, but it's like, just, you know, certain things you just cannot tolerate because you've been through experiences of relationship or marriage. With me, I'm gonna share on this one. I definitely will share on another video, but you know, I think I experienced marriage and I experienced divorce. So I think that really set my mind on another, I won't say level, but it's just different. You know, it's one thing to be single. It's like, oh, I don't know what that feeling to have a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, that type of relationship. And then you guys go the distance, but it's like, okay, I don't know what it means to be married, you know. And then, hey, I was married, you know. It's another great experience. I don't think it's negative if you marry the right person. It's another great experience. It's just different from saying that we boyfriend, girlfriend. Now, I'm not pressuring dudes to marry. I'm not pressuring females to say, hey, finally somebody gets it, you should marry me. And nah, I just really think if it's meant to be to take it to a marriage level, it's definitely a different experience. But I have more details. I can share that in another video. You know, it'll probably be underneath the topic of like, don't marry just because of the title. You know, there's a big purpose behind that. So I'm gonna leave it with that. Don't marry just because of the title. So with that being said, guys, you guys have a great night. Thank you for watching. This is we're done with day 13. We got 7 more days left because tomorrow's 14. So day 14 tomorrow. Take care.